The Arizona Diamondbacks season is done. In very disappointing fashion, it's over. And as always, when a team misses the playoffs, especially one that just misses it, there are a ton of faces to blame, and there's definitely a number of reasons the D-backs ended up barely missing out in the end this year. But the team owner, Ken Kendrick, he has his sights set on one man and one man only. I didn't realize something like this ever would or could happen, but here we are, and oh my god. Really quick, if you exist, like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet, or as always, you can just wait to see if you enjoy the video and then make a decision. That works too. The Snakes did not last until October this year, sadly. The owner, Ken Kendrick, could not have any more disdain for one of his own players, who, by the way, is still technically on the team, Jordan Montgomery. I mean, geez, the way he talks about him, you'd think Montgomery slept with his wife, but no, he just sucked. Montgomery was one of the Boris guys who signed on incredibly late after not getting the long-term contract he was looking for, ending up with the D-backs for a 2-year deal with an opt-out after the first. And I don't think Ken Kendrick wants anything more in life than for Montgomery to opt out of his second-year option. Montgomery went on to have an abysmal year. Like, it couldn't have been more awful. He threw 117 innings on the season, pitched to an ERA over 6, gave up 14 home runs. He wasn't even hurt, really. He was just terrible. As simple as that. Eventually getting thrown into the bullpen, as it was just a complete mess and failure for year one of this thing that now looks to be the first and last year of Montgomery as a D-back. And on a recent appearance on the Burns and Gambo show, an Arizona-based radio show, Ken Kendrick gave his fresh thoughts right after the team missed out on October, and this is what he had to say about Jordan Montgomery, what he was unafraid to just publicly throw out there. Listen.
The best way I can say it, if anyone wants to blame anyone for Jordan Montgomery being a Diamondback, you're talking to the guy that should be blamed. Because I brought it to their attention. I pushed for it. They agreed to it. It wasn't in our game plan. You know, when he was signed right at the end of spring training. And looking back, in hindsight, a horrible decision, you know, to have invested that money in a guy that performed as poorly as he did. It's our biggest mistake this season from a talent standpoint. And I'm the perpetrator of that.
Now, Montgomery was awful, but again, to openly say this, when he still has the ability to opt in and stay with the team is pretty shocking for obvious reasons. You just don't really ever see something like that. But he said it, and I will say Montgomery definitely deserves criticism more than just for how bad he was. Yeah, he deserves criticism for that, but during this year when he was bad, he made excuses about his performance. At one point saying that pitching at Chase Field was like pitching in a jungle and mentioning the humidity on the field before walking back his statement, saying he needs to drink more water, understands that they play in a desert. What a mess. You're getting paid $25 million a year. I don't think the fans care about the humidity in the ballpark or whatever. They want you to perform. I don't know much about Montgomery as a person, but that's just a weak thing to bring up. You don't do that. So overall, clearly the Jordan Montgomery Arizona experience was not great for anybody. Well, I guess just for Montgomery, considering he got $25 million out of it. But other than that, no, it was terrible. I mean, it doesn't get any worse of an experience all around from a production standpoint to the excuse making and then the owner publicly talking about the situation like it was a horrible tragedy he feels bad for. Clearly pushing Montgomery out and making it clear he does not want him back at all. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point if Ken Kendrick was in a room with Adolf Hitler, Osama bin Laden, and Jordan Montgomery and had a gun with 2 bullets, he'd shoot Jordan Montgomery twice. Wild stuff. Let me know your thoughts and thank you for watching.